Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cherie Yvette. We're diving back into the series called Growing Season. It was 51 days of planning. I started this a few months back, and obviously it had little to do with gardening, but everything to do with growing. If you don't remember, the number 51 was significant to me for several reasons. That was the time period or the amount of days where I needed to make a significant decision, or I thought I needed to make a significant decision until I decided to lay it at the feet of God and He led me to it. So 51 days was significant. And I decided that I was going to do planting and gardening and putting seed in the ground during those 51 days because what we know is we can't expect to reap a harvest if we don't have seed in the ground. And I find that moving forward during challenges and uncertain times, especially as moms, it really can throw us for a loop.
So remember how I said that I was going to cut these or I was going to pull it out because I thought that they didn't bloom until, I thought they wouldn't bloom until next season. So I cut them down because they were literally as tall as me. And I cut them down, even though this one got super tall. Anyway, I cut them down, right? And then the moment I cut them down, I noticed blooms. But the thing is, the blooms don't come out until dark. So.
This is called a common evening primrose. I actually planted wildflower seeds in the front of my house in between the foods that I was growing. And this past season, they bloomed all by themselves. And I found it very beautiful that this primrose, evening primrose, only fully opens its blooms at night when no one's watching. And it was so beautiful. And the bush, honestly, it didn't really look that pretty in the front of my house. But just because I knew that it was going to bloom in the dark, I left it. So as I left this flower here, it actually began to bring me so much joy because there was a family of golden finches, which is a state bird for New Jersey, that will come during the daytime and land on this little common evening primrose bush, and it would feed off of it. Man, and it just reminded me that, look, I don't need anyone to see my beauty to know that I'm still beautiful. I don't need anyone to acknowledge it. God created me to bloom even in the darkness where I'm planted for this season.
I don't think we're ready to go in the garden. Look, there's one down there growing still. Huh. So guys, she was just crying for the iPad. And I'm trying to prepare them for less screen time, which they don't really even get the iPad too much. So she's collecting the rocks we used last season. And we're gonna wash them and she's gonna paint them instead of using the iPad. Okay, put them all in the water and I'll get you some to rinse them off, okay? All right. Look at the bubbles from the soap. Hopefully there'll be sunflowers back here. We shall see in about 60 days.
My next gardening project had me appearing to look crazy to my neighbors and passerbys, but it just reminded me that literally sometimes what you're going through is not understandable by other people. You just have to roll with it and keep going on with the plan.
I've got so many thoughts as I clean out that little row, literally in between our driveway where I parked the car. People probably think I'm crazy for planting potatoes next to my car. But I have so many thoughts hey, I worked 14 years ago to sign on the line to purchase this house and this land. I mean, I know technically I have a mortgage, but it's mine. So that's my thought. And then it's like, I purchased these organic potatoes to plant a couple months ago, and I'm like, when do you ever get a harvest if there's nothing in the ground? And it's like, I have been preventing doing it because, like, I think some people think it's weird, number one. And then number two is it's heavy labor. So it's hard work. And it's like putting off the heavy labor because of what other people think, or because it's hard labor, will never produce the results that you're after because you haven't done the work. So I'm just starting because I want to see if my potatoes next to my car actually drive and what the greenery will look like as it grows. I'm pretty sure it's gonna look better than what's here right now. Let me show you. Yeah, I was against this rubber mulch, but it got put here anyway. But it's honestly like a yard and like any amount of land is a lot to maintain. And I know the only way that I will help maintain this is if it's something purposeful. So if I plant my little potatoes along these rows, I'm gonna maintain it because I want to see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish after I check on my boo butt. I got all of the compost down and I'm really tired and hot, but when I'm done, I'm gonna make a smoothie and take a nice bath. I got all the compost in the hole, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna like smooth it out, and then I'm gonna cover it with garden soil. I'm so hot, I can't think, y'all. So after I do that, I think I'm gonna water it in and just be done. Okay. Down. I almost started to feel bad for not going to the gym. Like, seriously, I know it's important for me, but I have been having some tailbone pain, and I just boiled it down to, me working on this project and maybe even a little bit of stress. And I'm like, look, yes, going to the gym is good for you, but there are other things that you can do right now that'll also be good for you. Going to the gym is just not the only thing that you can do for yourself, for your body, and your mind that's good for you. So I decided not to live in that space. and just do some of the other things that I know that are good for me. I was just getting ready to prove to you guys using the picture of this app that this was a potato plant. But I didn't even need to do that. I was just raking the leaves up and look. Some of the potatoes are exposed, but obviously they're not ready. So I'm gonna clean that up with my hands and not the rake so I don't disturb the roots. And there's another one right here, look. Ooh. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put some more soil on it, I guess. They're not ready. Some of them are like babies, look. All right. Potatoes, potatoes, more potatoes. So I kind of want to tell you about the picture of this app anyway, because it's really cool. If you don't know what a plant, a tree, or anything growing in your area is, you can use the picture of this app, and you literally just snap a picture of the growth or herb, or in this case, potato plant, and it will analyze it for you, and then it will tell you exactly what it is. There you go. It's a potato. Now, the story of this potato in my yard is so funny, y'all. It's so funny. And it's like, again, this little gardens around my property just gives me so many lessons. Like, we got this potato when we were pet sitting for my uncle, and he had like a potato in his kitchen that was growing wild, and I'm like, they're probably just gonna throw this away. So I took the potato, brought it home to my little garden bed in the backyard, threw it in the ground, and voila, we have a crop of potatoes. So in our situations that look bad, like we're ready to throw them out or look crazy to other people, listen, we just gotta roll with it. And when the curveballs come through, we gotta let God catch the curveball. In Philippians chapter 4, verses 6-7, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ." Are eating me alive, and I'm not about that mosquito life. So until next time, guys, I was just thinking that the first day of summer is next week. So I really want our backyard to be cleaned up. Right now, everything is everywhere, and there's no sense of organization. I almost feel like it's even a bit of a safety hazard. So I'm hoping my husband and I can get out here one day before we leave next week and just organize this space a little bit more. But until next time.